Alright guys, so after that, let's move into our next topic of the conversation, and that is Max Holloway, lightweight. That's it. You know what? I think it's time. I honestly think it's time, because Max, he's been competing in the featherweight division essentially his whole career, since he moved to, or since he signed, since he's been signed with the UFC. He's been competing at featherweight since day one. And you guys, Max Holloway, as of right now, he is, regardless of division, when it comes to striking, he is top, in my opinion, just my opinion. He is essentially top five. That's just it. Max, he just said he's number one because you guys, his last fight was at UFC Fight Night, Holloway versus Cater from UFC Fight Island, and that was on January 16th, 2021. January 16th of this year, you guys. This is March 5th, 2021, and that was a beatdown. That's what that was. I mean, it was a 5-round unanimous decision fight. But I'm looking at the strike figure right now. Max Holloway landed 445 significant strike, compared to Calvin Kattar 133. Holy smokes! Holy smokes! I mean, that fight. When I was watching that fight, I thought that the fight should have been stopped, because Calvin Kattar, he was taking a beating. He was taking a beating, and you guys, there are levels to this game, and I was watching that fight, and Max Holloway was so much above. He's a few levels above Kattar, and yeah, he just made him look bad. He made Calvin Kattar look like an amateur. To me, through my eyes, from what I was seeing, it seems like I was watching a professional athlete, a professional fighter, versus someone's first day at the job. And you guys, come on, man. This is the UFC. Calvin Kattar, he is a professional fighter as well. He is no joke. Okay? He is no joke. This is what he does for a living as well. And Max Holloway made him look bad. He made him look very bad. Very bad. Okay? And on top of that, okay, as of right now, the champ in the featherweight division is Alexander Volkanovski. And as of right now, Alexander Volkanovski, he's got a fight book with Brian Ortega, scheduled for March 27, this month of 2021. You know, Volkanovski has beat Max Holloway twice already. And Max Holloway, he is one of those active fighters. He would like to stay active. And there is a possibility where the UFC could say, hey Max, are you willing to cut some weight? Are you willing to be a back fighter? And Max Holloway, from what I've seen, he doesn't seem like he's one of those guys that likes to say no. If you're asking him to step in on short notice to come in for a fight, he'll do it. It's just the fact that, not just for the title, it's just the fact that he felt that during his last two fights versus the champ right now, which is Alexander Volkanovski, he felt that he won those two fights, those two previous meetings that they had fought. If that's the case, to his mind, he believed that he is defending his title, not trying to recapture another title. And what I just said, like just a few seconds ago, I believe that Max Holloway is also one of those guys that's very easy to work with. He's a company man, and I'm sure that the UFC compensated Max very well, because I've never heard him say anything bad or anything negative about a company, which, for me, you must realize, you must know how much you're worth. And for him, for being a former champion, He knows his value. He know what he could ask for, and he know what he could get. And in this situation, in this case, let's just say on March 27th, he was asked to become a backup fighter. I am very certain. I'm very certain that the UFC will take good care of him when it comes to money. But however, this topic of the conversation is Max Holloway to lightweight. Okay, Max Holloway, as of right now, he is on a short list for the flyweight title because of his last performance, which was ridiculous. I keep saying that because he destroyed him. He destroyed Calvin Kattar. So let's just say for featherweight, okay. Let's get back to featherweight for one moment. Let's just say Volkanovski does beat Brian Ortega. I could see Max being next in line to face up Brian Ortega, and that will be a rematch. Because during the first meeting, Max did beat Brian, and yeah, he messed him up, like right there. Look at this picture here. He really messed him up. So. Oh, I froze. Yeah. So would I like to see the matchup? Yes, absolutely. Because for that to happen, for that rematch to happen, Brian Ortega must beat the current champ, which is Alex Volkanovski. And will that happen? Maybe, possibly. I would kind of leaning towards Volkanovski. But on top of that, Max Holloway, he's getting older, and weight cutting is starting to become a bit of an issue for him. And he did mention that previously during the off season, when he's not competing, when he's not training for a fight, he walks around like 175, 177, just below 180. And to me, that is ridiculous. That is so big. Like, wow. Let's say he walks around at 175. That is a 30 pound cut to make it to 145. And during his previous outing at lightweight, it was him versus Dustin Poirier. And you guys, I think that was a crazy fight. That was such a crazy fight because it went to a decision, and there was another 50-50 chance that Max could have won that fight as well. So after that being said, I would love to see that rematch again, because as right now, Dustin Poirier, he is essentially the uncrowned champ in the UFC Lightweight division. We all know that Khabib Nurmagomedov is the champ right now, but he's been saying for the last while that he's done, he's not coming back. There's no challenge for him in the UFC. He would like to go do something else. He's going to a different he's going to promote, which he's trying to promote the Eagle Fighting Championship, and he's trying to sign a bit of a Fight Pass deal with Dana White and the UFC Fight Pass. And Khabib, he has no desire as of this moment, as right now. Nothing excites him, with the exception of George St. Pierre. Besides George St. Pierre, I don't know who else the UFC could offer him, Khabib, to come back and fight. Okay, so if the champ is gone, if the champ is no longer competing, and if the champ is no longer have that desire to compete in his division, like, let him go. Because you got Dustin Poirier, uncrowned champ, you got Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson, Conor McGregor, Charles Oliveira, and Justin Gaethje. Those guys that I just mentioned, those 5 guys that I just mentioned, I could see them being a very, very good matchup for Max Holloway, because I believe that he would perform better in this weight class because he doesn't have to cut as much weight. He could put on some muscle mass to his frame, because Max Holloway, he's very lengthy right now, and with a 30-pound cut, at least a 30-pound cut to make it to 145 division, I'm sure that takes a lot of toll on him. And if you keep that muscle mass on him, I could believe that he could perform extremely well, but however, he must do this properly. And the example that I'm going to use in this situation is Dustin Poirier. I mean, Dustin Poirier, when he was competing at 145, he looks slim. He looks like Max right now. That's Max. That's Dustin. Max is what Dustin is right now when he was competing at 145, and then when he moved it to 150, he put on a bit of muscle mass on him. He performs better. I realized that his first fight in that weight class, he lost to Michael Johnson, but that is part of the transition phase that he was going through. And after that, Dustin Poirier, he's went on a tear. Besides that one loss, the only loss that he have was to Khabib, and everyone else. The rematch with Conor McGregor, he won. He beat Justin Gaethje. He never fought Tony Ferguson, and he never fought Michael Chandler because Michael Chandler was not into UFC at that time. And I realized that as for right now, the UFC would like to book Dustin versus Conor sometime this summer. They're saying, the rumors that it's gonna be sometime in May. But that is still leave a lot of option for Max Holloway to move up. There are still a lot of fun fights. I would like to see, this is my opinion, if Max chooses to move up to lightweight, this man right here, Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson is the first person that I would like to see Max compete in the lightweight division, because both these guys are like ridiculously good when it comes to striking. They are 1A and 1B. They bring this style that is very unorthodox, style that not too many fighters could implement into their games. It's very crisp. Their striking are very crisp, and they are very good at this one dimension of fighting. I realized that both these guys have been working on their jiu-jitsu, and their wrestling is, well, Tony Ferguson's got a bit, because he was a division 1 champion, but excuse me. But Tony Ferguson, he is a striker in nature. He's a striker at heart, and that's what he's known for. And he liked to oblige. If his opponent, in this case Max Holloway, said, "Come on in, stand in the middle, and let's do it," 100%. I say 100%. Tony Ferguson said, "Fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You wanna bang? Let's bang, bro." So yeah, lightweight is where he should be. Lightweight's where he should be. There is a bit of competition at featherweight, but it's, you guys, I don't sound like I am being that guy. That I don't want to be a hater, but the lightweight division is so much more sexy. It's so much more competitive. It's a fun division to be in right now. And the featherweight, it's becoming stale. It's on its way out, and it's not as exciting. It's not as much fun. I mean, in that division, there's only 2 fighters that I want to see compete. Sorry, 3. And that is Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski, and Brian Ortega. Those 2 are 1, 2, and 3. But I could only watch so much until I'm like, you know what, fuck it, forget it. I don't want to watch this fight anymore. Because these 3 guys that I just mentioned in featherweight, they are head and shoulder above the rest of the competition. They are 1, 2, and 3, and 4 and below. It's non-existent. 4 and below in featherweight, it should be like 100 and below. They are that far ahead. But if Max moves up, which I want him to, man, the lightweight division for him is so much fun. A rematch between Dustin Poirier, a rematch between Conor McGregor, which Conor beats him in featherweight, and I know like both these guys would bring it. I know that Max he would really want to have that fight back, because he's not just an athlete, because he's a world champ. Of course he is an athlete, but it's that desire to win, that desire to get that loss back, which he lost to Conor McGregor at 145. And as right now, I believe that if they have a rematch, I believe that Max Holloway would mess them up. Max Holloway would mess up Conor McGregor, because Conor McGregor, you guys, this is just my personal opinion. Tell me what you think. I would like to hear it. I believe as of right now, Conor McGregor, he's got enough money that he doesn't need to fight anymore. He fight because he chooses to, because Conor McGregor, he's a fighter as well. He's a fighter as well. He likes to compete. This is what he does. This is essentially what got him into the dance. And the dance in this case is the UFC. And that's where he makes his money. And you don't get to that position by not being hungry, by not being one of the best in the world. But that could also be said with Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier and Michael Chandler and Justin Gaethje and Charles Oliveira, like all these guys, this is what they do. And at the end of the day, you must ask yourself, would it make sense? Would it make sense for Max to move up? What's it make sense? I mean, like, would it make sense for the UFC? Would it make sense for Max? The following reason that I just mentioned, which is on Max, that's why I believe it should make sense for him to move up. How about for money? What kind of money do you think that the UFC would generate from Max moving up to 155? To me personally, a lot. I believe that the UFC can make a lot of money if Max moves up, because of the fact that there are a lot of fun fights, a lot of rematch that they can make. The biggest one that's coming off my mind right now is Conor versus Max for rematch. And of course, the other rematch was the second one is against Dustin Poirier, when they fought for the UFC interim title. That was a ridiculous of a fight. Who would not want to see that again? I do. And Tony Ferguson, holy smokes, man, that is another crazy fight. Michael Chandler, another fun fight. Justin Gaethje, Charles, and what if Nate comes back? Nate versus Max Holloway. That'll be a fun fight as well. Max has mentioned that he is willing to go up to as high as 170. Holy smokes. Yeah, you guys, 155. I believe that is Max Holloway's next home. That's where he should be heading towards. That's where he should take a bit of time off. Just let go of the featherweight division. Let go of the 145. Do it properly. And when I say do properly, I mean put on some additional muscle mass onto his frame, because I believe that he is still growing into his frame, because he looks lean, he looks a bit slim, and just look at this picture right here. Oh, the last one. I mean, yeah, it's just 155, man. 155. That is his home. That should be his new home. Okay, well, you guys, that is essentially my thought on Max Holloway move up to lightweight. He's not moving up right now. I want him to. And those are my opinion. Those are my reasons why I believe that he should. We'll see what happens in the future. But besides that, I would love to hear from you guys. Tell me what you think in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And let's have a conversation.